Hey guys, welcome back. It's Grim Reaper calling at you for another video for Raidshadowlegends. Hopefully doing well, and hopefully you're looking after yourselves and having a fantastic week. Not long now until the weekend comes. We're halfway through a week, and there is a lot going on right in Raidshadowlegends. Definitely with the events and etc. And they are keeping us busy for sure. Anyway, so today I wanted to do an update because for two reasons. Why? One, I'm currently moving house. So this is me just trying to give you guys something to watch, but also I wanted to do this video for a while, and it's a good video to do a few days before I release it. So because it's very update, we did do this recently in October, and now there has been a shake up in the meta and etc. for P versus P, and a lot of you guys know that I'm a P versus P player as well as P versus E, but I enjoy P versus P more and probably well known for more of P versus P. So, wanted to do a tier list. I know you guys love your tier lists, and we've got the 5 categories today, and we're going to compare all of the mythicals in live arena or arena in general for P versus P, and we'll talk about these champions and try and give you some background stuff where they will be good in. Now, this is a tier list for P versus P, so if you see some people that are in C and D or B, it's because they are not really used for P versus P. I'm going to use my experience that I go across with all of the accounts in live arena and arena as well. As you guys know, I push on around about 3 to 4 live arena accounts a month, and basically live in a live arena, probably do about 4 hours a day, even including it on my own as well. So we're going to start off with one of my favorite mythicals, and was my first ever mythical before he was buffed. Now it's going to be Sigford. Sigford is a great nuker. Hit probably one of the hardest hitting, if not the hardest hitting, P versus P ability on his A3, and is an absolute force to be reckoned with. Does let itself let down a little bit that he can't be transformed, which is a bit disappointing. Um, so I'm gonna put this guy in the A category. He's definitely a very difficult nuker for newer accounts and probably anyone up to late game to deal with. I think for gold 4, there is some way of understanding how to counter him. If you're using speed teams and you don't able to get his passive off, he can cause you a problem for sure because he's one-shotting your team. I wouldn't say he is broken some other champions along here, which we'll go into a bit shorter, but I definitely think that Sigford definitely belongs in A tier. Great as a bomb counter as well to like Commodus if you can get him in the 4-piece Ferald and Savage set with Lightning Cage Blessing. Very, very useful. I'm still waiting for the Ferald for my account, but I have updated Edwin's account to kind of do that. So yeah, fantastic. Not really useful in PvC, but a lot of people do use him for speed farming in Ice Golem hard and Finite 10 hard as well, because he just one-shots the waves and is an absolute menace when it comes to that. Now, the second one we're going to go into will be the chicken. I can't pronounce his name, is it? I can't pronounce it. Being dyslexic is very difficult for me to remember these names. He's got a bit of a bad reputation, probably one of the worst mythicals in the game, probably arguably top 5 if I'm not being misunderstanding, but he's fairly good in Hydra. I think he's gonna go in the C tier for me. No, yeah, C tier for me. He hits fairly hard, but he struggles against tanky teams. He does have the option as being a force nuker and also being able to counter lockouts, which is very useful because his nuking form is on the second ability, which is very, very strong and can be very, very, yeah, very, very strong. And I'll put him in the C tier for sure. Great in some other areas like Sand Devil and etc. Bit niche, but definitely up there as well. Okay, so this girl was probably would have been here when she was first released, but I would say now she's probably B tier, right? She definitely has that immune to lockout, which is very, very useful. I don't really use mine, in the arena because I don't really have enough god tier savage sets on her or anything like that. I probably would use her a little bit more if she was like a 6-star blessing, but she ain't. And I have a lot of good tap based nukers already. So I use mine in Hydra. I'm very happy with her in Hydra. She did take a bit of a nerve when they fixed all the Hydra stuff, but you know, in the day, it's a bit of a problem. I wouldn't say she's awful, but I think she does need a slight buff, if I'm not mistaken, because when you compare her to some of the nukers on this list, she's definitely up there for sure. Now, Ashna. Ashna is going to come into the C tier, and a lot of you guys will probably say he belongs in the D tier. And the reason why I'm going to put him in the C tier, he is very good at counting Gizmac, and that is probably his only niche when it comes to PvP. And Gizmac is definitely up there as one of the best damage dealers in Raid. But for me, yeah, Ashton comes out. I can't really say too much on him. He's good in Hydra, probably Ice Golem as well, and Spider, but there isn't really any more than that. And from a mythical, I do expect more for sure. Now, Gizmac, probably one of the mythicals, and not really had a lot of opportunities to play with through takeovers or anything like that. I've been a bit unlucky with that, but he is a solid champion. So for me, Gizmac goes in the S tier section because he can counter champions like Sigford, Odin. He's very good against like a Taurus, Anise. He's very good against as well. He's very difficult to kill, and since Pinpoint has been out, Polymorph is not so much issue for him as well. So he's definitely up there in the S tier for me, and will be my first S tier one. Um, Very good in other things. Very good in Chimera. He could be usable in Ice Golem. He could be usable in this new event dungeon if you got like a Sophorion, etc. But can definitely do some stuff overall, and a pretty solid champion there. Now, so talking about Lazarius, Lazarius for me is going to go into the A category. He's a bit like Sigford. He doesn't get used as much, but there is two ways of kind of building him. If you have like a 6-star blessing, you can build him to be a full out Termita boost, drop Termita very, very S tier in Hydra. If this was a Hydra tier list, this would be in an S tier for sure. And probably one of the best mythicals for Hydra for sure. Probably one of the best revives in the game on his passive, and he's very good against lockout champions like Katricia, Warlord, Yumiko in the arena. For me, he sits there. He can be great as a nuker as well. Hits fairly hard, not crazy multipliers, but he hits fairly hard, and he has like a couple of godlike abilities there. After that, I probably would go for Katrixia. See, for me, Katrixia would be A tier as well. I think like Katrixia is not so strong as people think that she is. When she's with other mythicals, she's a bit of a nuisance for sure, which I won't deny. But once you start facing mythicals with Katrixia, she is not so hard to counter, and that is a problem. She's very squishy as well, which can be a interesting one. It depends on how you build her, and she does get like a lot of weak hits. So like champions like Sigford, for example, would just maul on her when she does that, and Armads as well is also strong affinity. If she doesn't lock out Armads, it's pretty much game over, even in Pinpoint, because they just strip you. And yeah, it's just a force to be reckoned with. So for me, Star Sage for me, hands down, is probably the best P versus P mythical by a long shot. He's a bit prone to polymorph as well, but if you build it correctly, there's just so many ways to build this guy. Again, it's very, very strong in like Sonic Set and Stone Skin. Can go in like a 9-piece protection, can go in 9-piece uh, pinpoint. You can put a 4-piece pinpoint and Sonic on him if you wanted him to like cut in and cause a bit of havoc there as well. He's got Termite on A1. He's great in Chimera. He's great in Hydra. He's great in pretty much in any PvC content as well. And if you get this guy, I would be it's just extremely jealous. Like he, for me, is the one I want out of more than anyone. Like if I got him, I would stop spending on primals altogether because he's the main one I would want, probably compared to like the Gizmac and some other champions, which I'll go into as well. Right, Frowning. For me, Frowny is in between the A tier and in between the B tier, right? So I'm gonna say it's very difficult because he can be quite difficult. I'm gonna put him in the B tier. He just had a buff and his damage is pretty insane. He can be very usable against speed teams, especially if he's slow and tanky and they take all the turns. And if you still have the stone skin, can cause a problem for sure. His second form is underrated, especially against champions like Sigford, etc., who have like absolute blast. And Sigford one-shots itself against uh, Frowny on his ability. Could be a interesting one for sure. Now, we have Carnage. For me, Carnage is a interesting one. For me, Carnage is going to go in the A tier, which is going to be surprising. A lot of people probably won't agree with me here. I'm a really big fan of Carnage for sure, but for me, he's just very, very solid. And he's not like OP. I wouldn't say he's top 10, but he's definitely 8 tier if you can deal with Stone Skin. If you can deal with Stone Skin, he opens up a lot of possibilities. A bit prone to polymorph, but other than that, he can definitely unlock a team for sure. Has great speeder as well, and there's a block revive on the second form. I have a really solid build. I use mine quite a bit, and I started using mine a lot more against like Odin, for example. Even at A1 is very good against Odin. You can lock out Odin, you can lock out Marishka, which is great for bombs, and how to counter that, which is very, very useful. There's just so many ways that you could use him. Tormund, Sungwong, there's just so many ways. Like he can get strong hits against Sigford sometimes, close down in Harmony, can close down Marius with their A3 as well if you're not careful. Like if you do it correctly, you have to be careful when you do this against Marius, but you can definitely close down Marius as well with that ability. Right, so Commodus. For me, Commodus is a S tier champion. For someone who owns a Commodus and missing all the champions, that makes him S tier because he does need the right support around him, like Shazan. The Star Sage is really useful. Abias is really useful. He is super, super strong, and for me, he is a force to reckon with and very hard to stop if you don't have like a Star Sage or a Marishka. They're probably like the main two best counters to him. And he's very good against like champions like Gizmac on his first form as well, or any type of mythical to transform because of that lockout ability. It's a shame it's not unresistible because that would make him even more better. He could strip Stone Skin with that ability. He could lock down Katricia, etc. And I use mine for both his first form as well as his second form, which is surprising as well. Now, Hive Lord. Hive Lord for me is a interesting champion. He's gonna go in the D tier. After his buff, he's a very strong champion, a bit underrated for Hydra. It does a bit of damage, etc. as well, but I don't really see a form for him in arena. Sometimes people compare him with Gizmac in lower levels, and he can do some work for sure, but you need a Gizmac to unlock that potential. Uh, for me, he still needs a massive buff and a lot of work for that. So for me, for Arena, he's definitely gonna go there as well. He still doesn't get into my Hydra teams. He's probably like the only mythical on my account that sits in the vault, doesn't do anything, where I haven't found any use for him. Yeah, so far. Right, Sunbearer, right? Sunbearer for me is definitely a tier champion. Now, if I'm gonna do this in order, so I'd probably go something like this. I think Sunbearer is definitely stronger than Lazarius. Trixie definitely goes third, I think. Yeah, it's on playing ball. There we are. So for me, Sunbearer is definitely up there. Um, in that, yeah, it for me, Sunbearer definitely is a force to reckon with. It's a shame his second form, his first form is on a second form. Second form is underrated, can do some work for sure. But I really just like how his A1 and A2 is absolute cannons and block damage with the right team, especially with go second teams. he is vital. Now he's prone to lockouts for sure, like Sigford, but you know he can definitely do some work for sure, and he's a great champion. I get to use him on Edwin Peak's account and Thunder's account. Very very strong champion. Right, the Lion, right? For me, the Lion goes in D tier. He's probably only really good in Chimera right now and Hydra. I can't think of other areas where he would be good. I wouldn't even really use him in Siege. So for me, for Arena, he definitely goes in the D tier for me. Right, so this guy, I don't actually have the frame for him, so I'll screenshot him. Everyone's going to get this guy in a couple of weeks. We don't know a lot of information about him. I'm going to put him in the B tier for now because I think the second form is going to hit like a cannon. It's got block revive on 81. His ignore defense is AoE on 82, depending on accuracy. A bit of a complicated kit for sure. I think his first form is okay. He's HP based, so he should have good swappability. He's also force affinity, which is great against a lot of the magic nukers. He's going to be a problem for sure. And he's going to be great against lockouts as well, even if he doesn't hit hard. So for me, right now, I'm going to A tier, but it really depends on his multipliers and how hard this guy hits. If he hits hard, if he doesn't hit hard, it would arguably be C tier or D tier overall. So I guess I could see some use for him against speed teams with lockouts or heavy lockout team like Warlord, Yumiko, and Katricia, for example. Right, Clamadeus. Clamadeus, I think I just said that completely wrong. For me, he goes in D tier, not a arena champion whatsoever. Not a bad champion for like Hydra, but arguably probably the worst mythical in Raid right now. So he definitely needs some work for sure. So for me, he's gonna go there. For me, Abias, it's a difficult one, but I think for me, Abias goes as A tier. Arguably, I think she's S tier. I think she brings a lot of utility for go first and go second with that second form and the stone skin, especially if we got the reset and if you can get lasting gives a proc as well. Very solid with increased accuracy. If you can make her like super fast, she is a problem. But for me, she's A tier because she's just a turn meter boost champion. I did drop a video on her at the weekend with her being used in Chimera as well with Senna with the second form, so definitely go check that out as well. I'll ping that up here somewhere. And then yeah, very very solid champion overall. She's probably like a top 5 mythical for me for sure. Where does she fit in this list? I think she does come towards the back because you can build Lazarius very similar to her. Bear in mind, Lazarius doesn't bring the increased accuracy, which is a bit of a bummer. But as a overall champion, I think she does come here. I think Carnage just slips down the list for me. Right, Nice. Now, Nice for me is top three mythicals, for sure. I don't know. Like for me personally, I'd rather face a Nice than a Gizmac. I've been having a lot of success with like Rhodas against Nice, and like Marius is very strong against him, especially when he dies and flips forms. That is very, very strong as like a method, a way to get rid of him. Has to be in the 4-piece stone skin. I did a champion showcase on him yesterday, so go ahead to check that out on Meeby's account. For me, he's definitely probably number 3 on Mythicals, can solo speed teams for sure and cause a lot of nuisance. You do want to take him towards it back, but he is a problem for sure. Right, we have Mesamal. Now, a lot of people would still put Mesamal here and here. I disagree. I use Mesamal quite a bit on Ibn Peak's account. And for me, Mesamal is a niche champion. She's definitely a bit better than Carnage because you don't have to worry about polymorph. If you can run her like He-Man or Georgie or like a bomb champion, she can definitely do a lot of work there. She can counter Odin on the second form as well. I've been lucky against like a Sigford as well against her, so she can definitely do some work. And a block revive is so potent. She'll pretty much one shot near enough anyone in the game if she's built correctly. And for me, she definitely is worth going there. Lady M, who is probably the third mythical that we can get inside raid for free. For me, Lady M is S tier because she's just so potent if she built correctly. I've seen a lot of people building Lady M as the fastest right now, especially in gold, etc., to counter like Sonic sets on Armads and stuff like that, which is very, very useful. Mine's in a Sonic set. I've started using mine in Reno again because she's been definitely doing some work there. She has ally attack with increased attack that can do that. She's got the stun, she's got turn meter drop on E1, she's got like a little cleanse as well on A2, and she can do increased accuracy, which makes her perfect for like bomb champions, etc., which I do quite regularly in like classic and 3v3 arena and siege as well. Toshira for me goes here. He's a good damage dealer. No, actually, I'm gonna put him in here. He's a good damage dealer. He's definitely probably slightly here for these two. Yeah, for me, I don't see Toshia a lot, but Toshia is definitely up there for sure. And then for me, I'm gonna put her here because she can do some work against with a passive on the first form against speed teams, etc., like drop in turn meter and stuff, and can do some work there. But she's a bit prone to polymorph, so I don't think we'll see her so much. I'm gonna drop her slightly down the list. I think I'm gonna put her like here, just because I don't know how good his multipliers are overall. So for me, he definitely goes there for sure, and I think that is a good way to kind of sublime it, I guess, in my own ways. So I guess there is my mythical tier list. Let me know in the comments if you agree with me or not. Who are your top 5 mythicals in Raidshadowlegends? And yeah, let me know in the comments. I'm really interested to kind of see what you guys think. And that's about it. Anyway, that's it from me for today. Hopefully you enjoyed this. It was a bit of a long video, but you know, we got there in the end. As usual, please remember to like, comment, subscribe. I really do appreciate that. Thank you very much. And that's about it. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I appreciate you watching until the end. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. I've been Grim. See you next one. Peace.